Have you ever heard a story so old that people stopped believing it? Not because it wasn't true, but because believing it was too dangerous. In some towns, legends are told to scare children into behaving. In others, legends are whispered late at night, only after the doors are locked and the lights are low. Because the people who laughed at them, they're the ones who vanished. Tonight's story begins with a missing person case that refused to stay ordinary. No signs of violence, no clear suspect, just a trail of clues that led investigators somewhere they never wanted to look. Back to a legend everyone swore was fake, a legend that was never meant to be remembered. Welcome to Dark Narratives. The town at the center of this story is called Gray Hollow. It barely shows up on maps. One traffic light, a gas station that closes early, and miles of forest pressing in from every direction. Cell service drops the moment you cross the town line, and if you grow up there, you learn quickly not to ask why. There's a rule in Gray Hollow that everyone knows, but no one likes to explain. Don't answer the voice. The legend says that something lives deep in the woods, not an animal, not a person. It doesn't chase, it doesn't hunt, it calls. It uses voices you recognize, voices you trust, always close enough to hear, never close enough to see. And if you follow that voice past the old stone marker near the creek, you don't come back. Most outsiders roll their eyes at that part. They say it's just a story to keep kids from wandering into dangerous terrain. But stories don't usually come with dates and names and decades-long gaps between disappearances that all end the same way. In 2018, the legend added another name, Emily Carter. Emily was 26 years old, a graduate student studying anthropology, smart, confident, and openly skeptical of small-town superstition. She came to Gray Hollow to document local folklore, ironically, the very stories residents avoided talking about. Friends described her as curious, fearless, and a little amused by people who believed in myths. On the night she disappeared, Emily sent a text to her roommate. "I'm going to check out the forest trail by the creek. Locals say it's cursed. Be back in an hour." That hour passed, then another. By morning, search teams were called in. Emily's car was still parked at the trailhead. Her backpack sat untouched in the back seat. No signs of a struggle, no footprints leading off the path. But her phone was found near the edge of the woods. The screen was cracked, the battery nearly dead, and somehow it was still recording.
Right here.
At first, the audio captured nothing but wind moving through trees, leaves shifting, footsteps on gravel. Then, 7 minutes into the recording, a voice appeared. A woman's voice, calm, familiar, calling Emily's name. When police played the recording to Emily's mother, she went silent because she recognized the voice immediately. It was hers, and she swore she had never made that call. She had been asleep at home that night. Her phone records confirmed it. That was when locals finally started talking, not the children's version of the legend, the full one. They said the voice doesn't call just anyone. It chooses people who don't believe, people who go looking for it, people who mock the warning, and it always uses the voice of someone who could make you stop walking away. Search teams began reporting strange things, too. Someone heard a man crying for help using the voice of a boy who disappeared in the 1970s. Another claimed to hear laughter echoing from deeper in the woods long after the trail ended. Every time someone followed the sound, they had to be pulled back, or they didn't return at all. The stone marker by the creek wasn't a warning sign, it was a boundary. Emily crossed it. 3 weeks into the search, a park ranger found something near the creek's edge. A folded piece of paper, dry, clean, untouched by rain or mud. It was written in Emily's handwriting. It said, "It knows I don't believe. It sounds like home. I don't think it wants to hurt me. I think it wants me to stay. There was no blood, no sign of violence. After that, the official search slowed, then quietly ended. Emily Carter was declared missing, not deceased. The locals weren't surprised, because the legend never says the missing die. It says they remain. Years later, hikers began reporting something else, a woman's voice near the creek, soft, calm, calling their names. Once someone recorded it. The voice was clear. It was Emily, still calling, still waiting. Maybe legends are just stories we tell to explain fear, or maybe they're memories of something that never stopped listening. So the next time you hear someone calling your name from somewhere they shouldn't be, ask yourself, are you being warned or invited? If you want more stories that follow you into the dark, make sure to like, subscribe, and stay with Dark Narratives. And remember, some disappearances were never meant to be solved.